What's up guys, my name is Ace, and yesterday, just in case you guys haven't noticed yet, we got some brand new guns added to Infinite Warfare, or variants. I shouldn't say guns, they are variants of guns that we already have. And the good thing is, every single one of them is going to be craftable, so they're not locked in the Quartermaster collection. Keep in mind, this isn't going to be like an in-depth review of every single one of these guns. We don't have the hard stats on them quite yet, but I'm sure we'll get them soon, and I'll be sure to do more detailed videos on the ones that require a more detailed explanation. So first up, starting with the assault rifles, we got a brand new epic variant of the NV4 called the Chaos. This one gives you celerity, which increases your fire rate while reducing your aim down sight fire rate. Now, I was able to pick this up in a game, somebody else had it, I was able to pick it up and do a little bit of recording on this, and based on my hand testing, your fire rate is somewhere around 650 rounds per minute, compared to the base 612 rounds per minute. And your fire rate while aiming down sight appears to be identical to the NV4 flatline at 571 rounds per minute. I really don't see this gun being a super popular choice, and I don't see myself spending 4,000 salvage on it, simply because I already have the flatline, and with an NV4, most of my gunfights are going to be while aiming down sight. I'm not going to be running around in close quarters with this. Even with the steady weapon perk as well as a laser sight, I'd be much better off running around with an SMG doing that than this gun. So therefore, I really don't see this being worth 4,000 salvage at all. Moving on to the next one, we've got the KBAR Bunker Buster. This one is a nuclear variant of the KBAR, which I'm very excited to see. So it gives you the nuclear weapon perk as well as stockpile. I am extremely excited for this one, but I'm not going to be spending 2,000 salvage, and I recommend for all of you to hold off on spending that salvage as well. The reason being, it looks like we are going to get a very similar variant of this called the KBAR Igloo Buster, for free with the 12 days of Christmas. So every day you get that daily login for 12 days. It looks like the 12th day, this was leaked a little while ago, it looks like the 12th day is going to be the Igloo Buster, which is very likely going to be the exact same variant. So don't spend your salvage on it yet. If it turns out that that's not the case, I will end up spending salvage on this because I do want a KBAR Nuke variant. But yeah, like I said, hold on to your salvage for this one. After the Bunker Buster, we've got the Volk Vexed, which is a rare variant of the Volk. And this one gives you on point, which will speed up your aim down sight time, but it reduces your hipfire accuracy. It also gives you Creeper, which increases your movement speed while you're crouching. This variant also seems to be quite solid, and I think probably worth 500 salvage, because the one big downside to the Volk in comparison to the other assault rifles is it's the only one with a slower aim down sight time than the other assault rifles. This on point should bring that more in line with the other assault rifles, and now that Volk doesn't have that disadvantage anymore, and therefore I definitely see myself potentially spending 500 salvage on this. Getting into the SMG category, we've got the RPR Evo Cheap Shot, which gives you Lowrider. Now you guys might recognize this because we got this in the 12 Days of Christmas in the form of the Sled Shot. It was a Christmas themed version of this variant, and as long as you logged in that day, you would have already gotten this variant for free. And this is why I strongly feel that KBAR variant we are going to be getting on the 12th, so don't spend your salvage on that. And same thing goes with this one. Even if you didn't log on that day, I don't think I would really want to spend 200 salvage on this. I'm not using the Sled Shot at all, and I don't think I'm going to be using the Cheap Shot. It's just not powerful enough, and there are several other variants of this gun that I feel are much more valuable. Getting into LMGs, we've got the Raw Headhunter. This is a legendary variant, and it gives you Hitman and Stability. With Hitman, when you kill all the players on the enemy team, you get a large bonus to your payload meter, and with Stability, you get a 3% reduction to your view kick. And again, I think this is going to be a relatively solid variant, mainly because of stability. It was not too long ago where they added more recoil to the Raw, and that decreased stability in the recoil makes it a little bit more difficult to use, so now having this stability weapon perk would be advantageous to have. I don't know if it's going to be enough for me to spend 2,000 salvage on, but if I happen to get lucky and open this out of a supply drop, I can definitely see myself using this over some of the other Raw variants. Next up, we've got the Titan Reconnoiter. I don't know how to say that. It's very weird. Sounds weird to say, but hey, that's what it says. This one gives you Sensor, which will cause your enemies to show up really bright red for both you and your teammates when you shoot them on the minimap. It lasts for 3 seconds. And it will give you Sharpshooter, which increases your damage range by 5%. Now, once again, it looks like we're getting this on the 12 Days of Christmas. Actually, today, at the time of this video being released, it's very likely that you've already gotten this Titan in the form of the Titan Slay Guide. So if you haven't logged on yet today, make sure you log on. It's very likely there. I can't confirm 100%. This is based on a leak, but by the time this video is out, you guys will know for sure. So don't go out there and spend your salvage on the gun. All you have to do is log in today and you'll get this in the form of the Slay Guide. Moving on to what's probably going to be the most highly sought after gun out of these 12 that have been added, we have the KBS Longbow Harbinger. This one gives you feeder, which reduces your rechamber time at the cost of some of your movement speed, and it will also give you focus, which reduces your idle sway when you're aiming down sight. This seems to be pretty much exactly what a lot of the snipers have been asking for. That rechamber time on the base KBS Longbow and all the other variants is very, very slow for a bolt-action sniper rifle. So it's nice to see that they now have a variant that will speed that up a bit, and I'm very interested to see the stats on this to see just how much faster that's going to be. I think it's fair that they get that faster rechamber time, but they lose a little bit of their movement speed and their mobility. I think that's totally fair, and focus is also a nice bonus on here. So for a lot of the snipers out there, this is very likely going to be one of those guns where it's definitely worth spending 4,000 salvage on. Moving on to the shotguns, we have a new Reaver variant. It's a common variant called the Skiver. This one just gives you Sharpshooter, which increases your damage range by 5%. For this one, I would say that 5% difference probably isn't going to be as helpful as some of the other weapon perks on the other variants, so therefore I'm not going to be even bothering to spend 200 salvage on this, but I mean if you get it out of a supply drop and it's your only variant, it's obviously better than the base. Next up we've got the Banshee Doppler, which is a brand new epic variant of the Banshee, and this one gives you Sonic Boom, which is a weapon perk we've never seen before, which gives you stacked high-frequency blast with each trigger pull. Now, I honestly don't even know what this means at this point. Maybe it has sort of like a stun effect or something along those lines. I don't know yet, but I'll be sure to keep you guys posted, especially in my Gun Guide series. And it also gives you Readiness, which means that you can reload faster when you completely empty your magazine. With this one, obviously, we just don't have very much information on it yet, and therefore I can't tell you if it's worth the salvage or not, because I don't know how much of a bonus that weapon perk will actually give you. Now finally, we have the Rack 9 Precision Strike. And this one is a rare variant, and it gives you On Point and Haste. Now On Point will speed up your aim down sight time, but it comes at the cost of a larger hipfire spread, so less accurate hipfire. Now the Rack 9 has that smart choke system, so when you aim down sight, it tightens up your spread. So for some people this might be really valuable, but for me personally, I just pop a laser sight on normally, and that pretty much gives you the same effect without having to aim down sight. Plus, if you really think about it, the base aim down sight time on the Rack 9 isn't that bad in the first place, so I don't really know if this is needed, and I don't know if it's really worth it to lose some of that hipfire accuracy in exchange for that slightly faster aim down sight time. As for haste though, this does sound like an excellent weapon perk, and it just might make this worthwhile. So there we have it. Those are the 12 new variants that have been added to Infinite Warfare. I'd like to know in the comment section below, which ones of these are really catching your eye, and are there any that you're planning to spend some salvage on? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.